I've been traveling like crazy the last 3 weeks to various regional Paw Paw festivals. After the 2 prior weeks of travel, I wasn't even planning to go to the Louisville Paw Paw Festival, but I heard that pawpaws would be in short supply there, and finally I knew of people in Illinois with pawpaws to share, but no festivals to share them at, so I heeded the call and headed down to Louisville. Funk's Grove maple syrup on historic Route 66 had wild pawpaws to share, and I brought them down. Say hi to Funk's Grove and thank them for providing all these pawpaws. Demand was high, and after Funk's Grove's wild pawpaws were gone, I decided to do some curated tastings using some of my own pawpaws as well as ones I collected from friends and neighbors up in the DeKalb-Sycamore region. It was a way to slow down a bit after the rush and get to talk to folks and really zero in on some of the nicer trees in my area. It was also a way to ensure folks got a taste even as supplies dwindled. I started my day off right with a breakfast of Kiwanis peanuts and made my way down to Paw Paw, Illinois. Paw Paw, Illinois is a small town just over the border from DeKalb County in Lee County, Illinois. The lady just came out of the back door of that church and she told me that I'm probably okay to pick up these pawpaws that are all over the place. That'll do. Timing is impeccable here. Time to go do some door knocking. My next stop was way down yonder in Funk's Grove, Illinois to visit the Funk's Grove Maple Syrup Shop on historic Route 66. The Funk's Grove Maple Syrup Shop has a wild pawpaw patch growing in amongst the sugar maples that they tap for their delicious sap. This year's syrup supply is dwindling, but they have all sorts of other great products in their syrup shop like pancake and muffin mixes, dried fruit leather, not to worry, no forbidden pawpaw fruit leather, but they do have the fresh fruit for sale. These guys are busy as bees, or should I say carrion beetles and flies this time of year, but they were kind enough to take me down to their pawpaw patch to pick some wild fruit to take down to the first annual Louisville Paw Paw Festival. Hocus mocus. There he is. Who's a good boy? This is the King's Scepter right here, aka Pawpaw's Goody Getter. So you take this. We're going to tape this like this, and the paint, and we'll put a little soft thing in the bottom of this, just to show what we got here. This is George Hale's method, the undisputed king of the pawpaws. So we'll tape that on there, and this is something we can reach up and just gently nudge the ones that are in the tree with the roller into the basket, and it won't stab them like those the pokey ones. Mm-hmm.
I have the chainsaw for a reason. Okay.
Just what you want to hear while being carted off into the woods. The King's Scepter ended up being mostly for show, as there were more than enough pawpaws laying on the ground in the grove to keep the 3 of us busy picking for several hours. After several inches of rain, the pawpaw grove was a sloppy mess of wet, sandy mud, and we had to wipe each pawpaw fruit clean with a soft
cloth. For your
cloth.
edification of Pawpaw Grove and Funk's Grove,
yes,
that's like the start of the run right there.
Okay.
Like it ends right there.
Gotcha.
And we're going to try down to almost the other end of it.
Okay. Got it. You weren't kidding about the mud back here. That's all stinging nettle in there. That's fun times. Whew.
That's the spot I want to start with. Okay.
I was too busy picking up pawpaws to really shoot any footage back there, but I got plenty to take to Louisville, and it was on to the next stop. Cheers. All right, this is the Paw Paw beer base. We were drinking Brew Link Brew Pub's Ivory Stout, and I did a dead drop of frozen pulp in their chest freezer in Plainfield. It was a sadly quick visit as I had to make it down to New Albany that night. It was poppin'. but I gotta go. Quick stop at the Dollar Tree, and it was on. Public service announcement. And we've arrived at the Louisville Nature Center. And what do I see there?
We just released like 9 of them.
Oh, really?
I don't know, an hour ago?
Okay, so he's just hanging around.
Yeah, he's probably still hanging around. But yeah, we do have a lot of them here.
Goodbye, pal. I got some video. And that tiny bit of video was basically all I was able to shoot because I was busy the entire rest of the time. But I did get these score sheets from my tastings. More on that later. Off to the Dizzy Whiz for dinner with Ken. Blue skies were still ahead, and I saw this crazy hot air balloon at a competing festival on my way to Carlisle, Indiana to visit George Hale and his wife, Kyleen. And the Paw Paw police here. Oh yeah, go for it. Give me all of them. All right.
When you came around, and you were already gone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't quite follow the instructions.
That's
I was just
fine.
going off GPS.
That's fine. That's fine that you did.
Oh, they're looking bigger now, George.
Oh, they do at night.
Oh, yeah.
No, this really shows them better at night than daytime. With
Yeah,
this big spotlight, or I don't know what you call it.
I so regret not taking video when we did pollen collection, but it just seemed like I see one on the ground out there.
Over here, 3 of the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, look at them. Zoom in on these.
Those here's some on the ground with a branch still attached.
Yeah. They really do hang down.
Tree is less than 10 years old. And
This guy here?
Yeah. Grafted. I got him at Forest Keeling, had it on auction at the Walnut Council in Missouri at a conference.
Okay.
I bought it home. It's about waist high. Look at that. I've fertilized it. I've watered it. It's really going well.
Hey, what's the range on this thing? How far can you go?
On the Ranger?
In this guy, yeah.
Anywhere you want.
Yeah?
It's got 9 or 10 gallon tank of fuel.
So you've been out to Jerry's orchard, right?
Yeah, but not on this. No.
Okay, I was gonna say you should maybe think about taking it out there, but
There, see the red berries there? You see back up here.
you got a side light?
No.
Okay.
I can turn the flasher off.
All right.
Help.
Oh, here. There we go.
Turn the
Yeah, perfect.
flashers off.
No, I can see him now.
Yeah, but
So what are these? Are the winter berries?
winter bird.
So you could take this thing right down in the Paw Paw patch in Funk's Grove.
Where? Oh, the one you said? Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. What are you doing? This not shutting off.
That was. Did you ever win with that one? That was Was that your biggest?
We did one time. There, look at these on here.
Wow.
This one tree here is really loaded.
Yeah, it is.
There we go. Look at
Yeah.
that.
See, I thought you said you were like all done, but these are still looking like
Well, you
quite a
can smell
few.
the aroma's really strong.
Yeah. Wow. So what's the plan with all these?
Well, I'm freezing the pulp to have the new product for the Indiana's next year's festival. I'll
Okay.
make products with it.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the plan. And all its fruit. I really wanted to turn some of it into contest, but that's why I put the flag there so the cliff can sit and not leave and keep up.
Okay.
I don't think there's any left on now. But I did get it watered by hand this year. I usually do, and I did it. And then, really growing up, we planted.
That one's really yellow compared to all the rest.
Well, it's so dry.
Okay. Oh, that's the one that doesn't get watered, you said. Okay.
I had to do it by hand.
Gotcha. So you guys are in serious drought then.
Oh, very serious. I mean,
We've been getting just rain the last few days up in DeKalb. It was just a sloppy mess down in Funk's Grove. We had to like wipe all the pawpaws clean with a cloth.
huh.
But it actually worked pretty nicely.
That's almond tree right to the right.
Almonds?
That's 2 of them, yep.
Okay.
These peach trees are Hale's Haven, and they've been shot. They pretty well outlived their life.
Hmm.
Yeah. My brother mows all this. I told him I'd have a guest coming, so he got in here motor.
This is like my 3rd Pawpaw orchard tour on some sort of like random vehicle. Yeah.
It's probably the best one. You know.
I think you're right.
It's got air conditioning.
Oh, it's got the GPS and everything. I mean, one of them was a golf cart.
Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Austin. There's where we've been and going.
Oh, nice.
Where I've
You got your route.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, you've been all over the place here.
I have. That's our septic field right there.
Okay.
I planted a lot of coneflowers and native plants in there. Like.
That's nice. Kind of like a prairie restoration sort of thing.
Right.
Pollinators and all that.
Purdue University had a whole list of plants you could put over a septic field. I looked at it.
Oh.
We planted all these pines 10 years ago when we built the house to the left here. That's a 24-hour truck stop. There's a great Mexican restaurant next door. Yeah, we planted all these. Had them planted by a nursery out of Bloomington, Indiana. Most of them lived. They didn't get watered this summer. Really should have. They're hanging on. So just can't do everything anymore you used to do when you're younger. How old are you, Austin?
I am 41. I keep thinking I'm 42, but I'm getting ahead of myself, I think.
I always do that on a wedding anniversary. I always count a year ahead. This area in front of me all was wildflowers, but it didn't take this year. And I let it go, and we tried to water it. A few came, and not like normal. And those are various apple trees. I got a persimmon here behind the pecan.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you had a persimmon.
I don't know what variety. I know it's not. I thought somehow I was getting the Japanese, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. And I'm not sure which variety. I've lost track of.
Oh, I see them.
These are new apple trees. This one on the other side of the persimmon is a new apple, and it's a no, help me.
Whoa.
Huh?
Look at that big. This is an apple here, or no?
No, this is a persimmon.
What? Right in front of it, though.
Oh, it's an apple.
Okay. They
I'm trying
looked
to
like
have
plums almost for a second. The color on those.
See, I didn't get them sprayed or anything. And that's a big mistake. We planted a lot of sunflowers this year. We didn't get many planted, and everybody likes the sunflowers. A lot of black walnut everywhere. Never go back this way.
Do you guys ever process them, or you just take them to the place that does them, right?
What's that?
The black walnuts.
I used to. Not anymore.
Oh yeah, I think you kind of were like, it's not really worth it, right?
No, you drive across the whole state and get $15. Your gas is more than that. Gas
Yeah,
wasn't expensive.
geez.
Then. I'm backing up so you can see it. Like that.
That's all right.
There's some broken limb there that's mature. The fruit's orange here to the right.
Oh,
You see, but it's loaded this year.
Yeah, it is.
tree is
Oh,
loaded.
yeah. So those, like the broken limb, do they ripen first on there? Are any
Yeah,
of these
they
ready,
did.
or?
The ones on the broken limb are.
Okay.
But they're orange. I mean, they always said it had to be a bit of frost when you could eat them.
Well, they were dropping all over the place at Doug's, and
Really?
they seemed fine. So he's got some
Okay.
really impressive ones. Have you
Well,
been to his place?
No.
That's a place you really ought to go.
Well, I know West Terre Haute well because my grandparents lived north of West Terre Haute. That's an address.
Yeah.
And it was, went there a lot.
He was real fun to talk to.
Yeah, that's a new apple tree. The other one is the same. One's semi-dwarf, one's dwarf. Same variety. I think maybe Gale's. I can't remember. It's a new one.
This one's looking real nice.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think it had much fruit on it.
I see one, but yeah.
Yeah, I see it now. Oh, this one's got a lot. The next tree.
Yeah, he looks all right.
One of the
So-
trees was Liberty and one was Enterprise.
Okay.
I've lost track. I need to get some nursery people in here and trim them up for me. I've got these signs so the state highway doesn't spray or anything. It's a sign.
Ah,
It
okay.
says native plantings or stuff. And they don't fade. They're really good. I got them somewhere
That's nice.
in their plastic. I put the plastic pole on it to slip on the steel clothes. Yeah, my farmer's harvesting over next to the Wabash River. His farm, he owns over there. Soybeans today. I talked to him when I come home. He said, "Man, these beans getting ripe real quick." And he said, "Yours is going to be pretty soon. If they're getting ready to come up."
was using the Picture This app. Do you have that one at all? I mean, you know what butternut looks like, but I saw a seedling in my yard, and I was like, this kind of looks like a walnut, but I don't think it is. And then I used the Picture This app, and it said it was a butternut. I don't think we have a butternut tree near us, but I might have, like, buried one in, like, just not even thinking of it, because I had one from Larry Sibley, I think.
You need a second one to have.
Okay. Got it.
Then it takes 20 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So I don't know, make it.
Well, maybe I need to transplant that then to a nicer location, because it's really in just kind of a screwy location to be coming up. But I think maybe a squirrel planted it. I don't know. Because we have tons of squirrels in the walnut trio that's above our pawpaws. George showed me this key to all the different native wood paneling in his house that was harvested from his property. So cool. I then stayed in the executive suite and went out to the Chatterbox for an early, hearty breakfast.
This is the drone here, Austin. Look how tiny that is.
Yeah, it is tiny. It's handheld.
Yeah. I got a bigger one that I've had for 2 or 3 years, and it got so when it worked right, sent it back, and they redid some software, and it went for a little while, and then it went bad. So I just hadn't been flying, and this one came out, and I decided maybe I'll just get this one. The other one's got legs on it. It sits off the ground about that 4 inch bigger.
Ah, and that's why you need the landing pad for this one, right?
Because it doesn't have any legs to stand on hardly.
Gotcha.
And it's funny how it comes apart.
Well, this is kind of a neat thing. Did you ever think you'd be doing this back when in your pilot days?
No, never even knew about a drone name.
Yeah, I'm sort of wondering when the first sort of these things came out. Because they seem so, ubiquitous almost now.
Let's see. I'm going to have you, you push this, hold it, just push it once, and then push it again and hold it for a couple seconds and let off. And these lights will go.
Okay, you got it.
It'll light up and go.
Okay. I think it's doing it. Whoa, that's freaky to see it just hover midair like that. It's like a hummingbird.
I got the control switch like I wanted.
All right, well, it looks like we're ready for takeoff, or we already have. All right, I'm going to put my camera on the stand. George let me pick fruit for the camera, but all of it's earmarked to be pulped and frozen for the 2nd annual Miram Bluff Park, Indiana Pawpaw Festival. Just imagine these beauties churned into ice cream. So just shout at me if you want me to do something, okay? All right? All right, so, well, first of all, you're going to shout at me if I don't get this thing going. Okay. Flight number 2. So what's going on at this stage, George? It seems like there's like kind of a waiting time before you fire it up. I'm just kind of curious what the
controller here is. It's coming up now.
Oh, it's like linking with it?
And it gives you firmware updates. It also will tell you if you're too close to the zone of an airport, you shouldn't be flying.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
But I know the airport's up at Sullivan, 12 miles away, 10 miles away, and that's the only one here, so no problem. And then it says confirm for takeoff, and here you go. So this shows an image looking on the ground. The camera's already lit. It's looking right out the trees.
Okay, I'm going to focus on the drone now. I'm working with George to get his video from the drone, but as always, data management is an issue, so bear with us and stay tuned to @CremDementia YouTube. All right, here we go. I'm gonna slip these though, so they're not cooking in the sun, into the shade here.
Okay.
We'll get them before we go. Guess we'll start on the outer row, maybe? Let's see here. Some of these trees, I think, are all done, but some have some amazing bundles still. I mean, look at these suckers. A little grass on there, but now these guys, still hard, but I mean, come on. Hail to the king, baby. All right, moving along. Do you want me to pick up a bunch of the squashed ones? Okay. Looks like this row is mostly done. But I picked a bunch of ripe ones this morning. So, I mean, we're here sort of, this is towards the end of Paw Paw season down here, but it's kind of just getting started up in DeKalb. Here's some beauties. Crop my dirty hand out of there. Look at that. Man, this guy's even bigger, I think. No splits or nothing. It's kind of got softness, but I'm going to leave him. I don't know what George's picking standards are. He probably wants them just perfectly tree ripened. Here's some nice ones. Here's one that's actually a height where I don't have to bend down. It seems like all the fruit this year are mostly on low branches. Oh, it's getting soft. Now I'm going to have, I mean, most of George's, I think, are Shenandoah or other Peterson cultivars, but I think he's got a few other ones. So, again, these are all feeling pretty soft. Lucky bugs. I think there's some wasps around here or something. Is that a hummingbird? Kind of breaks my heart, but critters are happy around here. Look at this. It's like a baked potato. Gosh, there's hard. They didn't even get through the skin. So, oh, all right. Yeah, somebody chomped it. But that's, gosh. Spider webs out here. It's that time of year. I swear I keep seeing what I think might be a zebra swallowtail, but I don't think that was it. And I know I'm not making fun of the drone. Oh, there's a mushed one out back. Oh, look at these guys. Oh my goodness. This, I mean, they got that color break. They're perfectly soft. I think if I just lift it up on these, yeah, they just want to drop. I'm taking these because it's that easy. I mean, the peduncle even came with after that. Like, this is like perfectly ripe. What you want if you're gonna hand pick. I mean, hard to ask for better. These guys, I'll let them be, but still very impressive. Here, I'm not letting go of these. They're in my death grip now, but for reference. From my cold, dead hands. These, I mean, I would even maybe do this in my yard because I have much more problems. Well, I don't know about more problems with critters, but a lot of squirrels like to test my fruit. Somehow, George doesn't seem to have as much issue with squirrel chomps. Maybe it's because they can tell they're not walnuts. I mean, again, that looks like a beautiful cluster. That's just, I mean, oh my God. Okay, so look at that. This is like textbook here. You see that? That's the peduncle separating. I mean, I feel as though it's my civic duty to pick this before it hits the ground. Complicated. Should have brought the dang bin. Can I do it? Oh, maybe I can get just the whole. If you look here, even that is ready to go. All right, I mean, I think I'm gonna end the video here. You can't get much better than that. And I gotta say, thank you so much to George and Kyleen Hale. Look at that. I mean, any second. Make you repeat yourself, George, but so we had a little accident. It's which row am I after for the drone crash?
1 or 2.
1 or 2, okay.
On this end.
On this end, all right.
Somewhere stuck in a tree.
Somewhere stuck in a tree. Okay, these are probably the guys fooling me into thinking it's a zebra swallowtail. Oh, little skippers. All right, 1 or 2 in a tree. Looking for the drone in the Paw Paw orchard was really the only fruitless part about the search. We ended up finding the drone out in the field beneath a black walnut. It must have collided with an overhanging branch, and luckily it was okay to fly again. Marker, check. Flat, check. Drone, just a tiny little crash there. It's okay. 1 and 2, and hold it, and there we go. Got air traffic control over there. Okay, the far 2 rows are mostly Wabash?
Yeah, except for this end.
Except for this end.
Those NC1 and
okay.
Southwest.
Okay, so on the very end?
For sure, NC1s, and then one, I think the second one is Southwest.
Okay, but the rest are Wabash going up the way? Okay, okay. We'll start with row 1. All right, here we go. The pith helmet, just in case we have another drone crash. Row 1, so this one is allegedly NC1. I don't think there were any soft ones on NC1. And this was Susquehanna, I believe, he said. And then here I gotta watch my step because, oh, all right. I think this is Wabash. So number 3, and he might, I bet he has this labeled. Oh yeah. Okay, so this one's the green tag here. Oh, he's holding, I see, he's propping this branch up here. And this has some beauties. Oh, but they're still hard, except for I bet this guy, oh yes. This is the one that is ripe. He just wants to fall off into my hand and totally fill it. So we're gonna label this one Wabash. This is key, is to have a really nice, soft tip marker. I like this brand a lot. Bic, you wanna sponsor me? Go for it. I like your lighters too. I should have brought a bigger tray, because I mean, look at that. All right. Here's the cluster that I was viewing from the other side. Oh yeah, it's just, oh yeah, that just, see how it, yeah, didn't even have to pull on it. That wrinkling peduncle, or skin near the peduncle. Ah, shit. Well, it's okay. I like to label near the peduncle area. I might have to grab another flat. I stumbled on a surprise in the orchard.
This is a Wabash variety, one of the later Peterson's varieties. And since we live near the Wabash River in Indiana, I thought it was appropriate that we put half our plantation in Wabash. And Kyleen here won the Ohio Festival just last weekend with the best Paw Paw overall was a Wabash. It wasn't this large. And if we'd have taken this one, this would have been the largest Paw Paw at the event. So
hold that up.
Only if we knew.
It weighs
Yeah, there you go.
1 pound, 6.2 ounces.
It's a boy. Back at the executive suite. Yeah, daddy.
My grandpa's name's in the middle there somewhere.
I thought maybe it was on the back.
Was his last name Hale?
Yes, Henry.
Yeah.
Henry
I
Hale.
don't know.
I think you might be right. I think he's on the back.
Oh no, these were men in the canton. That's something different.
Let's see if I can find him here. Here he is, Henry C. Hale, Marine.
You got him?
Yeah, he's on the back to the left here.
Okay, there he is. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, Henry C. Hale, Marine.
After a lovely but short visit, I had to bid those two adieu and head back to Illinois. I took the scenic route, and I definitely got some scenery. I spotted some pawpaws along the roadside in a rather scenic spot where they were also doing some major harvesting, so I had to double back and take it all in. I even stopped and tried to bring a pawpaw to someone standing across the way from where the harvesting was going on, but unfortunately, by the time that I walked over to the house, I couldn't find anyone, so I had to leave. While I was there, I also noticed that there was a persimmon tree planted prominently in front of the house. 350 ST and Clarksville Road. I kind of missed the sign, but I'm going to slow down here. Let's look back in here. Them are pawpaws right along this creek. They're on either side. These folks seem to be farming the area. I'm very curious. George and I had talked about being able to spot pawpaws along the side of the road driving along at 60 miles per hour. And one of the places that I had seen pawpaws in my travels was in quaint little Oakland,
Continue
Illinois.
on Illinois 133 West for 8 miles.
I had seen the pawpaw that is in their downtown on my way to the Miram Bluff Park first annual Pawpaw Festival. It was planted in an orchard setting alongside the retirement home here, but I think it must be on somebody's private property. There it is. There it is. Jeff and Katie. Hello. Hello. I returned victorious to Funk's Grove to find these two cuties processing pawpaws. So while I had a captive audience, I decided to tell them of my adventures, give them a thorough Pawpaw 101 lecture, and sell them on a timeshare. I talked about the difference between wild, select seedlings, and cultivars, with Peterson pawpaws being basically the gold standard of pawpaw cultivars. I talked about improving their pawpaw patch by, at the very least, marking and identifying good and bad actors within their pawpaw patch and finding select individuals with excellent fruit. I suggested they use multicolored zip ties to help them get that started. And here are some Peterson cultivar fruit that I got from George Hale. This part describes Chris Jamil's techniques for improving a wild patch by culling bad fruiting trees and grafting them with scion from good fruiting trees. You can also just cut out the bad ones. We're also going to maybe clear the area below and then lay some straw or something like Doug Fell was doing in order to soften the blow of fruits dropping. You can also use goats to clear the area because they will not bother pawpaw trees themselves. Further, you could pen the goats using an electric fence, and that would also aid in keeping critters out of the pawpaw area. But this is all hypothetical, of course. They're also going to be having lots of seed left over, and all sorts of people are going to be needing seed regardless of heritage for rootstock, even though theirs is pretty good. So seed is valuable. And to save it, you don't want to dry it, you don't want to freeze it, you want to put it in a damp plastic bag in your fridge, otherwise known as stratifying. Of course, then, Valentine's Day is a good time to think about starting them indoors if you like. George Hale's method for retaining pawpaw seeds from damaged fruits is putting them into a 5-gallon bucket and then running a paint stirrer on an electric drill in order to separate the seed from the fruits. Pawpaws are very popular in baked goods, but the heat can dissipate the flavor, so don't overcook them. They can be rubbery, I've found, in certain baked goods, and do not dehydrate them under any circumstances, which unfortunately they found out the hard way. Jeff had decided to get creative with the food dehydrator, but like many other woeful experimenters, was sickened by the fruit leather. So don't do it, folks. Ice cream, however, is a popular vessel for pawpaw pulp. It's great with whipped cream, any sort of cold dessert. Pawpaw pulp is also a popular additive to beer, and I have finally convinced the Brew Link Brew Pub next door to the gravesite of James A. Little to do an experimental pawpaw beer firkin. The official release date of the firkin is to be announced, but we are looking at a several-month horizon until its debut. Oh, here comes the sales pitch. Paw Paw. What is it? The concept is taking a fresh, chilled pawpaw and treating it like an ice cream novelty, but only using refrigerated items. So, a generous dollop of whipped cream atop a freshly chilled pawpaw with the top cut off, pinned back on with a cocktail umbrella, or just cut off, a tasting spoon, and a generous drizzle of Funk's Grove maple syrup. Why do people come to the Pawpaw Festival? Well, they want pawpaws, they want festival food, but most importantly, they want information. The idea would be taking chilled pawpaws and persimmons and perhaps other forest products like black walnuts and treating them as a festival food, but also having info available. Here's another concept for a novelty, which would be chilled pawpaw pulp piped into an ice cream cone and topped with whipped cream. And all of it would come from a pop-up camper retrofitted as a food truck. I'd been thinking about this in the car driving around on my own, and I just had to make my dream a reality.
That's the bourbon barrel age you did there.
Okay, we'll put that on that
Like
side.
how that accidentally just turned it towards the more. That's great.
Oh, is it all right?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
cute as hell. Amazing.
Are you filming this?
Yeah.
Good, good.
And
Thank
that's-
you so much. Good on you.
And that's the walnut syrup.
I'm excited with the
Which is
walnuts
very-
here. If I only had good black walnuts, I would sprinkle. Oh my God, look at that!
Yeah, the walnuts
This
are
drizzles so much more nicely. I gotta
extra
say,
thick.
yeah. And I do love that. Like, okay, black walnuts have like a bubblegummy thing going on, and I think it would like go hand in glove with pawpaw. But like, I don't think the syrup has it. Right? It's totally like.
I think the syrup tastes like a banana nut bread.
Oh, okay.
I know we had a lot. I think
Imagine
Johnny.
this is a tasting spoon, not a like
We have some.
popsicle stick.
We have some tasting.
But I mean, it's still pretty. Here, we'll push that down further in. It's still pretty damn cute, isn't it?
It's super cute. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Now, I made these both using Wabash pawpaws from George Hale, but I think the Funk's Grove Delicious Wild Pawpaws could benefit from the same treatment.